Hey everybody, it's Angie and welcome to Hot and Flashy. You know, my inbox has been flooded lately with questions about a new anti-aging cream that seems to be popping up all over Instagram, all over YouTube lately. It's called A313 pomade. Perhaps you've heard of it, perhaps you've heard other people talking about it and saying that it is the French beauty secret that is better than Retin-A. And so the questions that I've been getting are, have you heard of it? Have you used it? Are you excited about it? Do you recommend it? Do you think we should get it and try it? And do you think it's better than Retin-A? So I've got the answers to all those burning questions for you here today. I wanted to hop on a plane and go over to France and get myself a tube of A313 just so I could be sure to get the real right thing, but I didn't have the money in the budget or the time to do that this week, so instead I ordered up a tube on Amazon. And unfortunately I don't think I have got exactly the right thing, even though this does look exactly like the same tube that everyone else is talking about and everyone else is holding up and waving around. I gotta say, the box looks exactly the same. The title on it on Amazon was the same. Unfortunately, the Amazon listings don't have any ingredients listed, and so you can't really tell what you're buying. And what A313 is supposed to have in it is a mixture of 3 retinol esters. It's supposed to have retinol palmitate, retinol acetate, and retinol propionate. Well, the tube that I bought on Amazon only has one of the retinol esters in it, but this one does have 4.5 stars, almost 600 reviews, most of them glowingly positive, saying it's fabulous, it is better than Retinoid, and it's amazing. So I was kind of bummed that this one came in and had different ingredients than the one that everyone's talking about, but I think I can still address your questions. I generally look at the science behind things, so no matter what's in it, I'm going to look for studies to prove that it works. I'm going to base my review on the ingredients that are in the one that you guys are talking about, but I would just say buyer beware when you're looking on Amazon because you don't really know what you're getting. It can come in and be the wrong thing. I mean, I don't think this is too far different from the ones that have the mix of esters in it instead of just the one ester. So this one only has 4 ingredients. It has PEG 400, which is a binder, a stabilizer, and a solvent. It's got PEG 4000, which is a surfactant. It's got polysorbate 80, and then it has retinol palmitate. That's the retinoid in it, and it has 200,000 IUs in a 50-gram tube. So the other ones that people are talking about would have a mix of 3 retinol esters. It would be the retinol palmitate, the retinol propionate, and retinol acetate, but they would still be a combined total of 200,000 IUs. So more like 66,666.66666 IUs of each of those 3 to make up the 200,000 IUs. So basically, it's comparing apples to apples to say that this is fairly similar to that. I paid $28.99 for it, even though I had heard it was like under 20 bucks, but supply and demand on Amazon, the price goes up as people want it. It's got a super thick ointment consistency. As you can see, it stands right up there. It's not going anywhere. Oh my gosh, this is so thick and so greasy feeling. I don't know if you can see it on the back of my hand there, but it's also really shiny. It's kind of like rubbing petroleum jelly on your skin, so I definitely would not recommend using this during the day. Ooh, oh my gosh. Yeah, it does have a fragrance to it. It's not a fragrance like a perfume. What is that smell? Oh, I know it. It's Elmer's glue. This stuff smells just like Elmer's glue. And again, I'm not sure that I have the real thing from France, so I don't want to knock the thing from France. If it doesn't smell like glue, then, whatever. It might not. It's definitely going to be occlusive, I think. It's definitely going to trap moisture and water onto the surface of your skin and be hydrating, but beyond that, I'm not sure that the active ingredients, the 3 retinol esters, are going to be able to do that much for your skin. You guys know who watch me that I do use prescription Retin-A, and this claims to be as good as prescription Retin-A, but based on looking at the ingredients and looking at the research into what's in here, I highly doubt, I'm highly skeptical that it would be as good as Retin-A. I mean, I've been using Retin-A for 7 years and I've seen the amazing changes in my skin. I mean, Retin-A is considered the gold standard of anti-aging ingredients and is considered the gold standard for a reason. It is by prescription only, it is strong medicine, but it has the most robust research proving that it works. There's 35 years of research on it. It's got lots of human testing, and it is generally across the board considered the best anti-aging ingredient that we currently have. So is something like this that you're going to buy on Amazon for 20 bucks going to be as good as that? Probably not. But it does have a version of vitamin A in it, and sometimes when people say it's as good as, what they mean is it moisturized their skin and it didn't irritate. Because sometimes the problem with prescription Retin-A, also known as tretinoin, that's the ingredient name, sometimes tretinoin can be irritating, and so you have to ease into it slowly. Some people quit using it because it's just too irritating and they can't take it. And so they're looking for something that is less irritating, maybe less expensive, maybe over the counter. And everyone's always looking for a miracle cream, you know, I am too. But I want to see the research that backs it up, that says it is really going to work. I looked for studies on retinol palmitate. I looked for studies on retinol propionate and retinol acetate. Really, I can only come up with one study on retinol propionate, and unfortunately, it wasn't a good result. It basically said that there was no difference between using retinol propionate and using something with no retinol in it at all, something that was just a plain moisturizing vehicle. So that was the only independent study that I could find on it. I'll link the studies below the video if you want to take a look at them. I did find a non-independent study that was done by the Olay company, but this one didn't use retinol propionate alone. It combined it in a mixture with niacinamide and a peptide, and they compared it directly to tretinoin. And what they found was that after 8 weeks, the results were about comparable, but that after 24 weeks, the results with the tretinoin were definitely better. And I suspect it's probably because at 8 weeks, the people had a little bit of irritation on their skin, so it didn't look so great, because sometimes when you use real tretinoin and your skin gets irritated, you can actually look older and look worse. So that's probably where they were at the 8-week mark, but then at 24 weeks, once their skin had acclimated to it, suddenly their skin looked better than using the Olay product, which back then I think was an Olay Pro X product. They have just recently released another product line that has retinol in it, and they have removed the retinol from the Pro X line. So the new line is the Olay Retinol 24, and this does contain the things that were in the study: glycerin, niacinamide, a peptide. It also has retinol propionate, and it also has retinol, the standard over-the-counter retinol that you're used to hearing about, that's in like Neutrogena and Rock products and CeraVe products. So what are the differences between all these different retinols that we're talking about? The difference between the different retinols that are available is how readily available they are to your skin to use. So the prescription tretinoin that we were just talking about is retinoic acid. You put it on your face, the retinoic acid is absorbed into your skin, and it is immediately bioavailable and used by your skin. It hits the correct retinoid receptors. It helps to thicken the deeper layers of your skin. It helps to plump and firm your skin. It helps to increase collagen production on the surface. It can remove discolorations. It has a side effect of being exfoliating, so it's brightening, and it also reduces fine lines and wrinkles. So that's the gold standard. That's available by prescription. All the other retinoids that people talk about are not prescription. The differences between them and tretinoin is that they need to go through a conversion process in your skin. It can be anywhere from a 1 to a 3-step conversion process. So think of it kind of as jumping through hoops, you know? So when you have tretinoin, you don't have to jump through a hoop. So then the second step away from tretinoin is an ingredient called retinaldehyde. Retinaldehyde has a pretty good amount of studies showing that it works, but retinaldehyde has to be converted by your skin in a 1-step process to become retinoic acid. So it has to jump through 1 hoop for your skin to use it, for it to hit the right retinoid receptors. It's converted, but not all of it is converted into retinoic acid. Some of it is converted into retinol, some of it is converted into retinol acetate. So that's the second best thing. Then the third best thing is retinol. So that one you have to jump through 2 hoops for your skin to use it. So it has to go through a 2-step process before it can be turned into retinoic acid, which hits those receptors and does the magic anti-aging in your skin. The 4th step removed are the retinol esters. Those are a group of ingredients, all 3 of which are what is in this A313 pomade. So everything that's in here is a 4th generation removed retinol. So it has to jump through 3 hoops to be usable by your skin. And literally, like, no one knows how much conversion goes on, if any, which is why the study on it showed that there was literally no difference between something containing retinol propionate and a regular moisturizing cream. So that's why I always recommend that you use the strongest thing that you can, because I don't want you to waste your time on this stuff. I want you to like start your anti-aging thing, get right in it, because you know what, these things take time to work, and if you spend a year or 2 using something like this that really isn't going to do anything, that's a year or 2 lost. And I want you to start using the most effective thing that your skin can take. Now the reason that they have all these other things, the 1-step, the 2-step, and the 3-step conversion, is that regular tretinoin can be really irritating, and every step away you get, it's less and less irritating. So while it has to jump through more hoops for it to work, it's also that much less irritating. So if you have super sensitive, really irritable skin, then you may need the 3rd generation, but you're not going to see the same effects as tretinoin. But anyway, I do use a retinaldehyde product. I have tried the Olay product, and I do use a tretinoin product. So let me just talk briefly about what else I would recommend you getting besides this, because this literally I think is kind of a waste of money. So I would recommend getting the real tretinoin if you can. One way to get it here in the States is you can go to see your dermatologist or your doctor. You can ask for a prescription. This is my prescription tube. I just get this filled at the pharmacy. The price has been creeping up there a lot lately, so if your insurance will cover it, it's still pretty inexpensive. And then the way that I'm getting my tretinoin currently is with Curology. This is an online service where you upload a couple of pictures and a dermatology provider does your prescribing. So if you don't have a doctor that you can go see, or that your doctor's visit is going to be too expensive and you know your insurance isn't going to cover it, this can be a more cost-effective way to go, and it can also be a lot easier. I've been using this for about 2 years now, and I'm really, really happy with it. I actually just bumped up my tretinoin. I was on 0.09 before, and that's kind of the nice thing about this also, is that if you want to start using tretinoin slowly, you can ask them to give you a lesser amount, like you could start with a 0.02 or something, and then you can use that for a couple months, and then you can bump up to a 0.05, use that for another year, then bump up to a 0.01. So they actually have a lot of different strengths of tretinoin. So I've been really happy with this. So this is the Olay Regenerist Retinol 24 Night Moisturizer. This is a fragrance-free moisturizer. I picked this up and I've been using this for about a month because so many people had asked me about it. And this contains retinol as well as retinol propionate, which is the other retinol ester that was supposed to be in this cream. This also contains niacinamide and palmitoyl pentapeptide 4. So in my opinion, if you were going to spend around $30 for this on Amazon, and I don't even know where this could be a total fake, a total knockoff, because I see that people are talking about the ones that have, the 3 different esters in it, but that could be a total fake and a total knockoff. Like, I don't even know. Unless you're going to France and walking into a pharmacy, who knows what you're getting on Amazon. Between these two, I would buy this one because I think that you would have a much better success rate with a product like this that contains niacinamide. It also has retinol, which is 1 step ahead of the esters, but it also has a peptide in it. And I have been using this for about a month. I've been using it on my neck because that's where I can't use my Retin-A. I can't say that I'm seeing any really great difference in my neck. It's not as good as what I was using because, of course, what I was using was the next best thing to tretinoin, which is retinaldehyde. So the product that I usually use on my neck is this Aven Retin-A, and this contains retinaldehyde, which, as we saw in our little chart, is the next best thing to prescription tretinoin. So this is what I use on my neck, and I've never had any irritation from it. So I really, really like this, and I would highly recommend this. I mean, it's more expensive. This is $70, but there is a decent amount of research on retinaldehyde showing that it does work for anti-aging, and that over time it can exert similar anti-aging effects to tretinoin. It's going to take longer, but it's also much, much less irritating than tretinoin. The other thing that you can get if you want an effective over-the-counter retinoid is you can get Differin. This is not tretinoin. This is adapalene, and that's a different kind of a retinoid. It hits different retinoid receptors in your skin than the ones that tretinoin hits. There have been a couple of studies done that would indicate that it does show some promise for anti-aging. So I think that if you're looking for the strongest thing that you can get over the counter, Differin is probably it. It's inexpensive for a tube of Differin. It's available in the acne aisle at your local pharmacy. All right, you guys, that's my full review on A313 pomade. Do I think it's better than Retin-A? Definitely not. I don't think it's going to do as much for your skin as the real deal, or even as the other retinoids that are closer and therefore more able to be used by your skin. So this, I think, is just kind of one of those internet things. I hope you found the video helpful and informative. If you did, go ahead and give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. As always, I thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate your watching. So have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.